at the moment. Robert Walsall, he was very happy as well. Wants the players to go direct, and he's happy with the pressure they're putting on some of the Footscray key players, particularly Doug Hawkins, and wants them to work midfield and also look after Liberatore a bit more. Quick injury report, Richard Champion has a sprained ankle, won't be coming back on.
So the last quarter about to get underway here at Carrara, and still the rain falls. And in a low-scoring game, we look like having a pretty early finish here, Robert.
Yes. There'll be some...
soft shoe shuffle.
There'll be a lot of work to be done, Drew, after the final siren, I feel.
Well, a 22-point lead going into the last break for Footscray, so they won that third quarter by only a point. Both teams kicked just one goal in the third term. So, well, the Bears are 4 goals away from a win. We've got to keep Footscray scoreless. Gastev can't take the mark. Bain. Hawkins has been kept out of it by John Gastev. Here's David Bain. And a great tackle by Liberatore. It's a pity those two blokes got in the way. What a terrific shot that was as they hit the fence.
Yes, David Bain has done pretty well for his side. But Tony Liberatore, well, we've just knocked up mentioning his name, whether it be a tap on or a hand pass or a kick. And Chris Grant, who's been quite skillful. He's being penalised here for not getting rid of the ball quickly enough. And it's taken by Green. His kick goes towards Pelfreyman. Wallace and Mansfield combined to get the ball within scoring distance. Gastev can't mark. Hawkins skillfully. Still got a chance. Nearly tackled by Gastev. Gets his kick away in towards centre-half forward. Oh, strong there was Green. Coleman, little kick off the ground, goes back near the centre. McPherson falls over, and the Bears a chance to clear. Hart, his kick goes into the centre. Kennedy keeps his footing nicely. Kicks it up towards centre-half forward. Foster can't mark. Leslie, has he got a chance to get it out? Shackey off the ground. Up towards full forward. Kick off the ground, attempted by Toohey. Handball by Foster, went to Campbell. Campbell's kick goes back near the centre of the ground. A great gather. Terrific gather by Hamilton. His kick in the Shackey direction. He can't mark. He's got a chance. So has Darryl White. Handballs to no one there in particular. Toohey taken off the football. Still at 50-metre line or within there. Foster struggles. Maloney struggles. All the players very, very difficult to get an effective kick. Hamilton's kick. Now a chance for Kennedy. Well done. The gather was good. Away to Pelfreyman, and an intelligent little kick by Pelfreyman as a Bears goal.
You could win a Hyundai Sprint, an overseas holiday, or a weekend away. Shop at your local Super Sweepstakes store and pick up tickets for your chance to win thousands of dollars in prizes. Watch Channel 7 at 10:55 a.m. Monday to Friday. Starts June 1. Imagine island land for sale from $13,950 full price. Residential building lots only minutes from Brisbane and the Gold Coast from $13,950. Repayments from $54 per week. Phone 222-7322 now.
Pelfreyman, the goal scorer, he's got 2 for the Bears. 18-year-old. Wine wins in the middle. There's Hart and Liberatore. It's not his best angle, but we've seen plenty of it today.
Yes, he'll be very keen to get home to his new son, Thomas Francis, tonight, I think.
Wind again. It comes back to them. At the back of the pack is Wallace. Gee, Bain, well done. Bain's kick out of the centre square. They're only 3 goals away from winning at the Bears. Cameron. His left footer has good penetration. Good defence down there to get the ball to Clark. And following up is Lurs. Over centre wing. Wine pulled off the ball. He was just about over it. He had to be there. Anyway, free kick to Wine. He goes quickly into McPherson. His kick towards the far side. Bears have lifted in this last quarter. That's a good tackle by Green on Delray, and he's holding.
It was, yes. Well called, Drew. A good effort, because those tackles in the wet sometimes can be... well, can drift a little too high. Bain's kick finds Kennedy. Kennedy looks to play on. Hooks the kick wide to the wing. Hamilton in trouble. But gets the hand pass away. Leslie's a chance. Oh, was that a throw? Oh, funny old hand pass. Shepherd goes to Bain. Bears have got a roll. No, Bain's kick a little short. It's marked by Toohey quite near the goal square. Bernard Toohey, little kick, Baxter, close to the back pocket, kicks it out towards this half-back flank area. Foster, what a good mark by Peter Foster. Just holding it up there for Footscray, indicating that Martin Leslie crept over the mark, kick towards the wing. Colin off the ground, good stuff. Approaching centre-half forward for Footscray, Worsfold, kick off the ground again, and Gastev, and it's outside 50 metres at left half forward for the Bulldogs. They lead 7-15 to 6-5, and Terry Wheeler in fairly good control of his thoughts at the moment, I would think, but the Bulldogs have still got to win this game. And it'll be difficult for the Bears to get up and kick 3 goals to nothing and win the game. That's against Liberatore? No. Noonan, grabbed by the strides. Clark, kick towards the wing. McPherson's going to get caught by Hamilton, a little high. And that's the way the umpire sees it. The free kick will come back to Steve McPherson.
And the Bears still putting a lot of pressure on the Footscray players.
It's a bit of a pity that they perhaps didn't apply it, maybe in the second quarter when Footscray created the lead.
There's the kick by McPherson. Plucked out of there by Bain. He goes wide. And the ball out of play. Well, the last time I was up here, 2 weeks ago, when Geelong kicked the all-time record score, a total of 48 goals were kicked. How different today, just 13.
There's some very difficult conditions to kick goals in when it's as wet and as boggy as this.
Wine gets it to the back. Well played, Clark. Back he goes to Hart. Baxter. It was touched off the boot. Cameron. Good distance by Cameron to half forward. Socket forward by Atkins. Grant. Very hard day for forwards, but he's been outstanding.
And the umpire must protect the player who's going for the ball in that instance of his Clark.
Troy Clark. Short pass to Leslie behind centre wing. Well, the Bears have scored the only goal of this last quarter so far. 3 more to nothing and they can win the game. Mind you, they've kicked only 6 for the day. Here's a chance for the Bears. Bain gets the hand pass forward to Shepherd. Certainly not the Bears' worst, but he's had a couple of stints on the bench. White! Almost a mark. He knocks it goalwards. Atkins is there for Footscray. They need to dig deep now, the Bulldogs, to hold on.
The kick goes to a vacant half-back area. McIver is there. And a little kick interception was by Cameron. Worsfold. And in goes Smith to tap it over. And McIver and Noonan lament the lost opportunity there for the Bears to bang it back to the front of the goals. It's about the 3 kicks from the Bears' goal. Matthew Kennedy, a little attempted kick there, gathered by Cameron, was good. Away to Liberatore. Liberatore takes 3 or 4 metres and then kicks it about 40. Hart and Colin receives the free kick, Hart holding on. Steve Colin quickly onto Atkins. Atkins has been pretty good, but Noonan had a big task and has restricted the Bulldogs centre man to just 14 possessions, which is probably about half the normal for Simon Atkins. Danny Del Rey, caught. Well done, Sean Hart. Hawkins, caught. Well done, Gastev. Grabbed him by the leg. Away goes Colin. Hooks it across his left shoulder. No one home. Clark is there for the Bears. He kicks it out towards half-back. Hamilton, it clean bowls him. Steve McPherson. Still a chance for the Bears. McPherson's little kick. Baxter's little kick. Grant, a gather. Baxter's run beautifully and should kick a goal and does. So...
How do you get hot? Do you think about the money?
You'd have to be a little crazy yourself.
Basically, it's a maniac's job.
To understand the mind of a serial killer.
You don't get away pulling 11 separate murders unless you got a brain like a Swiss watch.
It's a pattern only he can see.
January.
Academy Award winner Kevin Kline.
He's gonna kill the next girl tomorrow night.
Susan Sarandon, Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio, Alan Rickman, Rod Steiger.
Don't mess with me!
For the first time on television.
The January man is gonna get his January girl.
Tonight.
Followed that all the way up from half-back to kick that goal. And a vital goal it was, too, for Footscray in this last term. Wind, sure hands by Grant. Dishes off the hand pass to Wallace. Not a great kick by Steve Wallace. Out towards the forward pocket. Lures a bit slow, caught by Delray. Soccer backwards by Kolonyuk, which was clever. Smith, underground kick. Hawkins been kept very quiet, gave it straight to Campbell. Matthew Campbell out of defence. McIver with Cameron. Leon Cameron gathers, approaches the 50-metre. Not a bad effort. Delray, but he pushed. I think you can get an argument with Danny Delray on the fact that he did push.
Lurs takes the free kick, and it goes in short where Gastev marks in that back pocket. Short kick again. Bain just working it ever so slowly and effectively away from the Footscray danger area. Noonan, again, a short kick close to the boundary line. And they're going to get another possession here because Heath Shepherd did that very well. He hooks the kick back near the centre. McPherson and Hamilton. Pushed on by Foster. Coleman. Back to McPherson. Handball over the top is reasonably effective. Baxter. McPherson. Centre half back. Short kick. And he gives it away. McIver. Campbell. Campbell's kicked the centre half forward. Pushed off the football there was Lawrence Shackey by Campbell. Leaves it for Liberatore. Back to Foster. And Foster goes bang. A wobbly punt kick. Back towards half forward. Clark gathers it. Wallace fell over. Clark's kick. Pretty good. Well done. Kennedy marks. Just forward of centre wing.
Matthew Kennedy. Up towards the 50-metre arc. Shackey. Clark showed good desperation to get away from Atkins. Now whistle and a Bears free kick.
Yes, there was a late bump then from the Footscray player on Clark, and he might even get himself a minor corky out of that.
So Notty preparing to come on. The kick up to the edge of the square. Good gather by Hamilton. He gets clear. Cameron's there, but the ball out of play.
Got a few important possessions, Leon Cameron, in this last quarter.
Yes, it's amazing what a fresh young player with a good turn of speed can do in these conditions.
Looked as though he was going to be anything when he first started, and just went backwards a little bit last year.
I think players sometimes get the second-year blues, but also you've got to remember that the Footscray side is probably a better team than it was in 1990 when he made his debut.
Speak of the devil, here is Leon Cameron, built like a stick. Worsfold walks it out.
The other player that's impressed me this season has been Steve McPherson as Lawrence Shackey takes a rest on the bench. Steve McPherson played a lot of football in the forward line, but he's played a lot of football this year in the back line and sets up play very well with his skills in the back line.
Well done, Atkins. Lovely little hand pass for Cameron. His kick a little too far, maybe. Matthew Campbell indicating that it went out on the full, but the boundary umpire will throw it in. Wine gets rid of White. Bain back to White. Perhaps a little slow to get rid of it. Shepherd. Very well done. Troy Clark. Kick towards centre half forward. Excellent diving mark taken by Kennedy. Campbell looking desperate on the mark.
Why wouldn't Shepherd be in the 18?
Yes, good question. He's done pretty well. Kennedy goes for the torpedo punt kick. Oh, it's not bad. It's touched right on the line by Steve McPherson. And it's through for a behind to the Brisbane Bears.
It's a bit bewildering, though, isn't it? Shepherd came on in the second quarter, played very well, and then he started the third quarter on the bench.
Foster just interfered with ever so slightly as he went for the mark. Well, you'd reckon you were down there on the Broad Beach, wouldn't you? The water there. He's had his shower already, Troy Clark. Boundary throw in right half forward for the Brisbane Bears.
Actually, Footscray might have ordered these conditions, a bit like the Western Oval. Remember last year when Carlton didn't kick a goal until about the last 10 seconds of the game?
And Bernie Quinlan likes to remind me of that every second week that we see each other, Drew.
That was poor play then by Palfreman, trying to tackle Baxter, coming in far too upright. When you're going to tackle a fellow like that, you've got to get down low and tackle them around the shoulder area, but he came in far too upright then.
So after a 50-metre penalty, Daryn Baxter to half forward. It's ball from behind by Campbell. Here's Shepherd, number 13. And he goes after it again with Cameron. Another kick off the ground. And he kept on going, Heath Shepherd. And Cameron was pretty well beaten then. Shepherd kept on going, and then Leslie walked it out.
He might have hurt himself too, Heath Shepherd, with that last tap on.
Gee, I hope this camera crew is getting Sunday penalties. They're really working for it down there.
The penalty is working today, actually.
Oh, great pickup by Clark. And his left footer skims up inside the 50. Zanotti, a backman turned forward. Leslie, right in front. Martin Leslie, 40 metres out. He plays on with the hand pass to Windsor, and Windsor misses.
Well, misses. He missed a lot.
And we can't be too critical then of Windsor. It's very difficult to snap around the corner with a heavy wet ball.
Kick to half-back has been marked by McPherson. McPherson for Footscray. Windsor, the man on the mark for the Bears. And Steve McPherson's kick in the direction of Mansfield, and he does pretty well. He marks it, made it look fairly straightforward, but a good effort there by Matthew Mansfield. Goes for the thumping kick in towards the centre of the ground. Well done, Wine. Oh, he played on. Did the umpire call it? Yes, he has. And still there a chance. Gastev away to Bain. Bain tries to get the Bears moving. His kick goes to the point of the square where McIver gathers in front of Cameron. And he gets around onto that favoured left side. Kicks it into the forward pocket region. McPherson, confrontation with not Shepherd, Kennedy. And the ball goes over. And Drew, if the chairman of the match committee at Huntingdale Golf Club was in control of this game, he would have closed the course by now, I'm sure.
Sounded so.
Absolutely atrocious conditions now. Rain has just been falling for the whole game, and there's plenty of water lying on the surface here at Carrara. Here's a chance for Campbell, approaching the end of the square. The kick falls in short, and Liberatore takes, well, a good mark in the finish. Windsor, the man on the mark. Away to Mansfield. Mansfield, short kick. Oh, intercepting is White. Exciting player is White. Perhaps a little inexperienced. Into the pocket. Punched away by Campbell, close to the line. And Tony Campbell goes sliding over with the football.
It clubbed it nicely. Well, Footscray, after all these games away, get back home for the next two games against Richmond and Hawthorn at the Western Oval. So you Footscray fans who haven't seen much of your boys this year, next couple of weeks your chance. Baxter fumbles. Well, they didn't come to him, so he had a chance to recover. Atkins climbs. Clark, who's a good player at scooping the ball off the wet ground. A hand pass in. Worsfold. Finding some space. Shepherd pops the kick up. Poor old kick that was. Short of Leslie. Gathered by Cameron, who's been a great player in this last quarter. Knocked away from Coleman. Campbell. Atkins is there on all fours. Gets the ball out. Grant, who's also handled superbly in the conditions. Collinuk's got a break on his opponent here. Steve Collinuk goes off the ground, but didn't get enough distance with that one, and it's chopped off by the Bears, and a beautiful turnover, and the kick was good to Bain. Now to centre wing. Free kick Noonan? No. Play on players.
Oh, well done.
Free kick, but McIver played the ball. Out to Noonan. This landing 35 metres out. Zanotti a chance. Overrun by Palfreyman, a shame. Delray back in defence for the Bulldogs. And he finds Mansfield.
Mansfield goes away with a long left foot kick out wide near the wing. And nearly a mark there to Chris Grant. Gee whiz, that could have nearly been paid. Foster combines with Maloney. Maloney a handball over the top. Atkins running up nicely. A little kick into the pocket. Gatherers by Toohey, and he does it pretty well. And he doesn't mind kicking goals, Bernard Toohey. He has a good look and goes bang and misses.
And Toohey being given a chance up forward, started the game on the back line, and now he's switched, gone to the forward line, and Del Rey, who hasn't had a lot of success in the forward line in these bad conditions, has gone into the back line to show his wares.
Under 8 minutes left. Lurs marks the kick in. Gives away yardage. The handball a little predictable, but the ball gets out towards half-back where White has marked. White plays on. A little kick is good. Marked by Noonan. Again, he kicks it into the path of Leslie. Leslie must get there first. No, Campbell does, and down he goes. Crash, too high, says the umpire. And the free kick will be taken back there by Tony Campbell. Experienced umpire Brian Sheehan, and Leslie just a little high. Campbell from left half back. It's it back near the wing. Foster can't quite take the mark. The ball there. Liberatore, Bain, push on Hawkins, Noonan, Liberatore, gathered by McIver was very, very good. Little kick by Noonan, Clark, oh, falling over, maybe conveniently was Campbell. Back to Clark, Clark kick is very ordinary. Cameron falls over, little kick off the ground by McIver, starting to get into the play. Very rusty early. Clark's hand pass, back to Bain. Bain's little kick is very good, and the mark is taken by White. He plays on, kicks it wider still. Gatherers by Zanotti, one way and then the other. Del Rey, the tackler, away to Windsor. Stand up? No, it's very, very difficult. Mansfield, handball Maloney, caught but got his foot to the ball. Chance now for Del Rey. Del Rey to Atkins, Bulldogs out of trouble.
And a long kick by Simon Atkins, all the way to half forward. Oh, Toohey, the top tackle. Stanfield after it. And the ball out of play, that'll do Footscray.
It really has been an interesting tussle between Liberatore and Bain. Been playing on each other, and both very different styles of play. Bain the runner, Liberatore the worker underneath the packs. And really, when you analyse this game at the end of the day, it'd be difficult to say who was the better player for their side.
Just 2 goals each to the two teams after half-time. Footscray built up a lead of 21 points at the long break, and the margin's now 22. So not much has happened since the rain really set in and the lights went on. Stanfield, short of full forward, punched away from Hawkins. Now a chance. It's paddled out to Hawkins. Paddle, the operative word. Ball off the ground outside the 50. Bit of safety for the Bears. But they need to keep the ball in, they need to be in possession, and they need to kick 4 goals.
And I think Robert Walls will be reasonably happy with the commitment these players have shown. There's a mud-splattered Coleman there on the bench, and they really have given their all today in these conditions. They have been undermanned. They lost 2 good players before the start of the game in Hutton and McLean, and I really think their effort today has been quite commendable.
Yeah, when you think they've been decimated in the ruck, they've lost Ashcroft, who was best on ground twice earlier this year. Started the season in great form. Well, you can't just take the top bracket out of any team and hope they'll go as well.
Particularly the Brisbane Bears, because they really struggle for personnel. Here's Rowan Smith from right half forward. Kicks it up near the goal square. Oh, good play by Troy Clark. He's put in. Matthew Campbell's done well in that last line of defence. Away goes Hart. Hart's kick finds Noonan at half-back, and I suppose you'd have to commend Danny Noonan, wouldn't you, for his effort on Simon Atkins?
I think Danny Noonan's been a very good player for the Brisbane Bears. He's fought hard all day. Atkins hasn't been on his own too much. He hasn't been able to get easy possessions, and Atkins, as we saw before, his average possessions have been cut in half today, and it's much due to the close checking tactics of Danny Noonan.
Well, Scott Wind, his kick has been marked by Barry Stanfield, and Stanfield would be probably just outside scoring distance. He fancies his chances. Gone for the torpedo. Hasn't really got onto it. It's in the pocket. Kicked away there by Gastev. Picked up by Toohey. And Toohey's kick goes over, not on the full. It was touched off the boot. So the boundary umpire indicating there that a throw-in will take place in that right forward pocket for Footscray. There's the part of the crowd. Gee whiz, haven't they got a constitution? Some of these people who follow the football, to stay out there in the rain all day, they're saturated and they're still watching. I suppose you might as well be drowned as half drowned.
Part of the crowd, that was the crowd.
As Troy Clark tries to run away with the footy, but the boundary umpire very close to the action there. So another throw in that left forward pocket for Footscray.
Few minutes left. We've got Bernard Toohey on the forward line. He's kicked 2 goals in his entire career, and I reckon he's looking for 3. Here's Collinute. Stanfield off the ground. 1 point.
There's a few more Tim?
That's the
They
same,
thought Richmond were playing.
that's the same person that just changed their jumper.
Matthew Campbell.
Really, you can't expect people to come out on a day like this, though, can you?
Goes straight up the centre. Atkins, yes, a mark at the second attempt.
Just hasn't stopped raining all day, though, has it? I mean, when we got here, it was light rain, and it's been pestering rain for the entire game.
There's Tui going into Stanfield. 40 metres out. Hoists it high. Not a bad effort. Hawkins! The Hawk at last! Yes, sirree!
When you've got really serious work to do, it might not be enough to just have a big V6 under the bonnet. That's why Mitsubishi proudly bring you the new Triton 3-litre V6 cab chassis with four-wheel drive. The new Triton V6. Have a think about it. Or as the boys at Mitsubishi might say, please consider.
Just testing him out earlier on, Tim. Yeah, Tui, 2 goals this year, not for his career.
71 plays 42, and a struggle from the centre bounce, and the umpire will call and throw it in the air once again.
There's McPherson then on screen. He's been a very good player today for the Footscray side.
Very steady. Scott Wine starting to take control. His height ascendancy is a plus now. All the players getting tired. Wine's kick will be marked by Wallace. Wallace looking to play on. Has a pretty good look and then goes to the left-hand side. And a good mark taken by Kolonyuk. 50 metres from goal, Steve Kolonyuk. He tries to play on, gets around the man on the mark, forced to kick with that left foot. Oh, yes, pay that. Good effort near the goal square by Chris Grant. Top effort. Chris Grant surely here will kick his 3rd goal. Green out of position. And Grant got a good fist of that. And was awarded his 5th mark.
Actually, Green has done a good job on Grant since he went on to him. Richard Champion found the athletic Grant a little bit too hard to handle, and Green, who's about 6'3", went on to him and has been able to keep up with Grant.
Grant from point-blank range puts it straight through the centre. Chris Grant, his personal tally is 3 goals, 4, and Footscray proceed to 10-17. And they lead the Bears, who are 6-6.
Steve Kolonyuk sending that ball forward on that occasion and doing something that has become almost his trademark, running very close to the man on the mark, then dumbing around, getting extra yardage. Sometimes he manages to put the ball through. On that occasion, he pushed it far enough forward to enable Chris Grant to take an easy run.
Well, a couple of quick goals now by Footscray, and they're getting a percentage booster. Just 41 seconds left, and maybe they'll get another one. Atkins out of the middle. Well played by Grant. Well played by Stanfield. Got the kick away. Hawkins giving chase. Tui's there with Lurs. Bernard Tui. He's got the ball in between him and the goals. Gets it back from Liberatore. Hawkins offers the lead. Goes for the banana Tui and kicks it behind. Hawkins was the option.
You think he might have been looking for goal of the day, Bernard Tui, in that right forward pocket?
Straight up the centre. Well done by Wine. Liberatore. Stanfield, who's had a few pings in this last quarter and has kicked another one on the siren. Well, did Footscray finish well? They kicked 3 goals in about the last 3 minutes of this game. Barry Stanfield got his first goal. And Footscray, 11-18-84, have defeated Brisbane, 6 goals, 6-42. So eventually they were exactly double the Bears scored to win by 42 points. Well, a hard slog, a difficult day to play pretty football, an impossible day to play pretty football, but Footscray would be happy with the 4 points, completing 3 interstate wins for the season already, Tim.
Yeah, that's a great effort to travel and win those 3 games. I think when they came here today, they would have been expecting a reasonably tough game, and and these conditions, they're a very tall side, the Footscray team, and really the Brisbane Bears for most of the game really did battle hard. They had a couple of quiet patches where the Footscray players kicked a couple of goals, but for most of the game, I think Robert Walls would be pretty happy with the way his players persisted, attacked the ball, and got their numbers to the play and around the ball, and really they did quite a good job.
I love this, Drew. I reckon this is great spirit at Footscray. Their attire off the ground is very good. Their spirit on the ground is enormous, and I think they've got a real chance this year. And
Bill McDonald's down there with our little champ. Here he is, Libba, with Bill McDonald.
Thanks very much, Drew. Well, Tony, a great day for you today. Congratulations on 2 counts, the win today, and of course the birth of your first child.
Yeah, I was very happy, although I was a bit testing out there today, but you know, I just got up here this morning, so I really wasn't that well prepared, but you know, big cheerio to my wife Jane and little Thomas.
Bit hard to get the mind on the job?
Oh no, I think you're just floating on, you know, on sort of thin air, and you know, I was just really keen to sort of do well today, and you know, conditions sort of suited me, so I had a smile from ear to ear as soon as I got here.
A big performance by you today, but the match was in the balance there for a while, wasn't it? You really had to work hard to get this one.
Yeah, it was, you know, very hard. We sort of had to work hard. We kicked a lot of behinds early, and just a lack of sort of real team effort. And but you know, once we got our system going, we were okay.
After last week's performance over in the West, keen to do well today?
Oh, definitely. You know, after a loss, I mean, you really have to get yourself up, and you know, we were very disappointed over there, and you know, I think today, you know, after a half time, we sort of really put the score on the board.
All right, thanks very much. I bet you can't wait to get home.
Yeah, not wrong. Thanks.
Thanks, Tony.
Well, he was great today, Tony Liberatore. And the fans are still out there. Billy McDonald's still out there. And it's been a pretty wet and bleak day. And 11-18-84 to 6 goals, 6-42 here at Carrara.
When I buy a van, it has to deliver. And I mean deliver. This Mitsubishi Express does it better than ever. It's got tons of power, loads of space, and all the creature comforts. But at the end of the day, I'm running a business, and I have to make money. That's why I buy Express.
When I finally give this game away, I don't want to be worrying about money. Sure, I've got superannuation. But is it enough to live well on? So, I had a chat with my bank, Westpac. Their financial advisors really helped me plan for my future. Even showed me how I can top up my super. Now, thanks to Westpac, I'll have plenty to live on. I'm really looking forward to putting my feet up.
Jeff Musgrave Electronics genuine excess stock clearance is on now. It's your big opportunity to get the best hi-fi video camera, color TV, portable sound at heavily reduced sale prices. You don't pay for big city rents. Jeff Musgrave Electronics is right under the freeway at the Gabba. You'll get the very best brands from all over the world, plus friendly expert advice at Jeff Musgrave Electronics excess stock clearance sale. 111 to 113 Ipswich Road, Wollongabba. Call in and see Jeff Musgrave Electronics for a genuine reduction now.
Listen to all the best love duets on 2 Hearts, 17 fabulous love songs. Peebo Bryson with Roberta Flack. Aaron Neville with Linda Ronstadt. Peaches and Herb. Sergio Mendes. 17 of the best love duets to be together with. 2 Hearts, out now from concert.
If you take a Key to Britain and Europe holiday flying British Airways to London, you could get up to 14 days free car hire to see London, Britain, a key, or Europe.
Imagine Island land for sale from $13,950 full price. Residential building lots only minutes from Brisbane and the Gold Coast from $13,950. Repayments from $54 per week. Phone 222-7322 now.
Joanna was a very naughty wife.
You didn't. I certainly did.
Married to a man with a real flair for revenge.
You've made 3 versions of me.
An almost perfect revenge.
Not while he's still alive.
From the best-selling creator of She-Devil. A wee bit of witchcraft.
Accidental.
Seduction.
Now you tell me.
And suspense. For the first time, a wickedly funny battle of the sexes.
I'm not a mother. I'm a quadruplet.
The Cloning of Joanna May starts 8:30 Monday on 7.
Well, Footscray kicked 3 goals in the last 2 or 3 minutes and finished up 11-18-84 to 6-6-42. So they won it by 42 points after most of the second half, leading by less than 4 goals. Grant was outstanding on the forward line and kicked 3 goals. All the rest came in singles to Hawkins, Stanfield, Coleman, Kolonyuk, Wallace, McPherson, Smith and Baxter. So they really shared it around. And for the Brisbane Bears, Palfreyman got 2 goals in singles to Leslie, Shackey, Noonan, Windsor, and that was their lot for just the 6 goals. So a hard slog and a real hard-fought win for Footscray, but by gee, you could see on Tony Liberatore's face there, apart from fatherhood, the 4 points up here vital to him.
Is very vital to the Footscray Football Club. I think after you have a loss, and a loss such as they did last week against the West Coast Eagles, it's very good to bounce back the next week and have a victory such as this today against the Bears.
I mean, how do you go about it? Do you believe that skill shines out, or is it only endeavour that wins in conditions like this, or do the skillful sides win the wet ones?
I think the skillful sides still have the opportunity to win the wet games such as today, and it's just a matter of how they go forward and how they control the ball. Of course, these conditions do lower the standard of play, and I think that the Bears stayed in touch basically because the conditions were such as they were today, and their commitment and their endeavour for the entire game really was first class.
So would a coach just say, well, OK, the forwards, the kicks are going to be 35 metres instead of 55, play in front, fill gaps, blokes aren't going to be kicking at the length of the park on days like today?
Yeah, well, I think that the coach's instructions on a day like today would be pretty simple. He'd be saying to the boys to get out there and to get into the play, get the numbers of the ball. It's very important to just try and get yardage with the kicks, not to fritter around the flanks, trying to pass the ball, trying to finesse too much. And really, I thought both sides played the conditions pretty well. And it was a game, although the conditions were very poor, as most people could have seen, I think that the endeavour by both players kept a fair bit of interest in the game.
Did Grant show you something that you hadn't quite seen before? You knew all about that, but he's in the state squad. But tough conditions for a forward, but he made it look easy.
He did. He was the pick of the big men out there on the ground, and the Footscray side does have a lot of big players in their team. And being from Dalesford, a very wet part of Victoria, I think he was brought up on a bit of wet football, Chris Grant. He really did adapt very well. Although when Ashley Green went on to him, I thought that he did quieten the athletic Grant.
And we talked about the battle between the two rovers, Bain and Liberatore. That was a highlight within itself.
Yes, that was a highlight of the game. Very different techniques, these two players. Bain, a runner with the ball, and Liberatore, a burrower of the play. And Liberatore probably on the day might have got the honours, but when you look at the Bears' best players, he would have to feature Bain. As we see there, the kicks, Brisbane surprisingly in front there with 228 kicks to 217. The handballs are very even. And I suppose what those statistics tell us most of all, even the marks there in favour of Brisbane, is that when Footscray got control of the ball, they used it a lot better than their Brisbane opponents.
And the hit-outs, 41-16. Wind is a real find, isn't he?
Yes, well, the Brisbane team didn't go into this game with a recognised ruckman, and I think that they would have been prepared to give away that part of the game, hoping that their smaller players would get the ball away from the packs.
Good on you, Tim. Are you pleased to stay dry today? Better than out there, isn't it?
Yes, it's a lot better being up here today, I can assure you.
And we'll be back with more at Carrara after a short break.
When I finally give this game away, I don't want to be worrying about money. Sure, I've got superannuation. But is it enough to live well on? So, I had a chat with my bank, Westpac. Their financial advisors really helped me plan for my future. Even showed me how I can top up my super. Now, thanks to Westpac, I'll have plenty to live on. I'm really looking forward to putting my feet up.
Hitbound brings you 18 of the best country songs ever recorded on this brand new release, Country Roads, with Johnny Cash.
I fell into
There's Kenny
a ring
Rogers,
of fire.
the Bellamy Brothers. We've got Alabama. There's the classic from Glenn Campbell. The great Charlie Pride, Tammy Wynette, and Willie Nelson. Country Roads, bringing to you 18 of the greatest country songs, out now on Hitbound.
Tonight on 7 Nightly News.
Wet conditions blamed for an horrific accident near Ipswich, claiming the life of an elderly man. Home video of Dr. Death talking another terminally ill patient through his suicide technique. And Melbourne police caring for a lost youngster.
Full details of today's top stories on 7 Nightly News.
Kevin Kline's the crazy detective on the trail of a serial killer.
Tomorrow night.
An all-star cast in a sensational thriller, The January Man, tonight.
Individual statistics, and here's our mate Tony Liberatore. I'm amazed that he didn't take a mark, and I'm also amazed he only played on one tackle. But anyway, 33 possessions.
Yes, he was a busy player all day, as we mentioned before, and his battle with David Bain was the highlight of this game. And Tony Liberatore, really one of the best wet weather players, a very short player but a very big heart is Tony Liberatore, and I'm not surprised that when we look at that statistics, 33 possessions, that's a wonderful effort on a day such as this. And there's his opponent, David Bain, 28 kicks and 6 handballs, and really, it was a line ball. We spoke about it during the game. We thought that they were about a line ball.
One had 33, one had 34. So
that's amazing. They both played on each other for the entire day, and Bain would probably lay claim to being the Brisbane Bears' best player on the day, and Liberatore possibly the Footscray team's best player. Steve Wallace, who was also a very good player for the Footscray team today, streaming down the field and creating a lot of opportunities coming out of the back line. And we noticed him also down the forward line a couple of times, following the play down and setting the play up in the Footscray forward line.
And then drifted up to kick a goal at one stage. Sean Hart, he's missed the last couple for the Brisbane Bears, and they've certainly missed him. His 21 kicks, 2 handballs, and a good performance by Sean Hart. It certainly did suit the little men, and he's built close to the ground.
And Simon Atkins, one of the best players for the Footscray team, and in fact one of the better players in the AFL. And I thought that Danny Noonan, his tag today, did a very good job in limiting Simon Atkins to those possessions of 21.
Well, our viewers in Perth will be leaving us shortly to take a replay of the game at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, that game between the Sydney Swans and Richmond. And the last time we saw it, it was in the balance. I hope you enjoy the replay, our viewers in Perth. And continuing here for the viewers watching this telecast, and a reminder that most stations will be taking the game from Adelaide live between the Adelaide Crows and Collingwood coming up after a news break tonight. But firstly, let's go to the game at the MCG between the Swans and Richmond and find out how it happened. Some highlights of the last quarter.
33 points the difference. Cordy straight down the middle. Honeybun almost the mark. Lambert, who's been terrific, hurried kick, and Naish is a long way behind. Virtually a forward specialist, Naish. Good goal. Can see why. Honeybun from the wing. Good kick. Hogg close to the boundary line. Pulls it back to the pocket. Edwards, strong grab in front of Holmes.
Big leap, Dennis. A big leap.
Tried the spiral punt. Knocked away by Dunkley. 2 Swans players went up. Rebounds to Lambert. He'll give the hand pass away. Long hand pass into the goal square. Hogg will kick another one. Cordy will go the punch to get it away from Hogg. McGovern overruns the ball. Not without it totally. Oh, ball slapped into the open spaces. Here's a chance for a goal into the goal square. Naish has got it. And again it came from Barry Young. This is Stuart Maxfield. Looks for Hogg.
Oh! And they're both injured.
That was like Ray Card and Keith Gregg. That one, wasn't it? Both those players. Stretcher job for Hogg. At the back was Bremen. Shark well by Murphy, who often kicks those sorts of goals.
Free kick.
Well, it could have been against Thorpe, who's come up with the football.
Oh, what a goal.
Snapshot. Yes, what a goal. It's through.
And final score at the MCG. Good on you, Richmond. Alan Jeans did it over his understudy, Gary Buckenara, 19-20, 134 to 14-18, 102. And that does breathe new life into the competition.
Time now to check the CUB AFL 1992 Premiership Season League ladder.
So the league ladder with still one game to complete the round. Of course, that game over in Adelaide between the Crows and Collingwood. Geelong on top. Footscray still on second place on the ladder after their win up here. And Collingwood just behind them in third place. Hawthorn, St Kilda and Fitzroy making up the 6. The Lions getting up there after their victory on Friday night. Now, still a game to come today, and that is at 5:30 Eastern Time between Adelaide and Collingwood. Check your local guides for details. Now, matches next week in round 10. On Friday, we have West Coast and Adelaide in Perth. On Saturday, Geelong and Collingwood at Waverley, Carlton and Essendon, Melbourne and North Melbourne, Footscray and Richmond, St Kilda and Brisbane. And on Sunday, Sydney against Hawthorn and Sydney, and Fitzroy have the bye. Just repeating that Footscray had a big victory up here today over the Brisbane Bears at Carrara. We hope you've enjoyed the action and stay with us for more footy today. Goodbye.
This has been another 7 Sport production, the network of the 1992 Barcelona Olympics.